An emeritus professor at the University of Toronto's Institute for Aerospace Studies, James DeLaurier's more than 40-year career has been spent at the leading edge of research and development of aviation. Born in Pontiac, Michigan in 1941 and raised in Illinois, James has been captivated by aviation since his youth, during which he built many rudimentary flapping wing balsa and rubber band models, efforts that pointed to his later success as an aeronautical engineer. After high school, James earned a BSc from the University of Illinois and then, in 1970, a PhD in aeronautics and astronautics from Stanford University. He enjoyed summer jobs at the NASA Ames Research Center down the road from Stanford, and, upon graduation, performed his postdoc research at the Von Karman Institute in Belgium. James worked in industry for 4 years before joining the University of Toronto in 1974, where he directed a subsonic aerodynamics laboratory. During his career, James published on varied aspects of aeronautics. Early research looked at developing a technique to analyze the stability of cable body systems used for towing or tethering aerial vehicles. Another project, this one conducted at the University of Toronto, studied flight dynamics of airships. James's findings have led to patented designs, including those granted for a delta-wing hybrid airship and a microwave-powered aircraft. The latter patent followed James's research on a stationary high-altitude relay platform, SHARP, for the Communications Research Center. James and his colleagues at work pointed to an aircraft combining a long, thin, aerodynamically efficient wing with a large circular disc for efficient power collection, a design dubbed ISIS because of the disc's sun-like shape. Between his arrival at Toronto in the mid-1970s and his retirement in 2006, James made one of his greatest contributions to Canadian aviation, his teaching and mentorship of countless students. Many of his graduates went on to impressive careers, including the successful team at Aerovelo, which Canada's Aviation Hall of Fame presented the Belt of Orion Award for Excellence in 2015. Aerovelo designed the world's first successful human-powered ornithopter, Snowbird, as well as the first successful human-powered helicopter, Atlas. For James, Snowbird's flight represented the culmination of a journey that began decades earlier while working at the Battelle Memorial Institute in Columbus, Ohio. There, in 1973, he met Jeremy Harris. Both men were keenly interested in ornithopters, intrigued and captivated by an aerodynamic problem that had stumped designers for millennia. They were soon collaborating, and for the next 20 years, their ideas evolved through a series of wind tunnel tests and computer simulations. Unlike fixed-wing designs, for which wings provide the lift and engines the thrust, the wing of a flapping wing aircraft both lifts and propels. Ornithopters thus require an added mechanism to flap the wings, which must themselves be strong enough to sustain higher additional stresses than those for a fixed-wing machine. James's work cracked the problem of thrust. Propulsion could be provided by leading-edge suction, a phenomenon where, on the flapping wing's motion, oncoming air is forced up over its leading edge, creating a low-pressure region that sucks the wing forward. In 1991, James and Jeremy's design had reached the stage of a remote-controlled flying model. Known as Mr. Bill, named for a small claymation character of perpetual ill fortune, the model employed a unique patented wing design consisting of 3 panels: a rigid center section, which utilized a Scotch yoke to produce vertical oscillatory motion, and hinged outer sections that flapped on account of the center section's oscillating movement. Its success pointed the way to a full-scale aircraft. In 2006, the Great Flapper, equipped with a small boost jet engine and carbon fiber and Kevlar wings, was ready for another test flight. Shortly after 10 a.m. on the 8th of July, the ornithopter took off, flying some 300 meters in about 14 seconds, 2 longer than the Wright brothers' first flight. For the first time, a human had successfully flown a flapping wing aircraft, a monumental achievement in the history of aviation, and a fitting capstone to James's career as professor of aeronautical engineering. Retirement has not dampened James's interest in aeronautics, although it has provided him more time to get his old AGS motorcycle to start. His very understanding wife, Susan, allows him to keep a large, low-turbulence wind tunnel in the basement that he uses to conduct tests on high-performance airfoils. He remains a consultant for lighter-than-air research on a large, modern rigid airship, now nearing completion in California, and his latest book, Aircraft Design Concepts, was published in 2022. James has also continued advising and working on projects stemming from his interest in ornithopters, including Aravello's work on Snowbird and Atlas. Collectively, these projects represent critical contributions to 3 aeronautical firsts: the first powered ornithopter, the first human-powered ornithopter, and the first human-powered helicopter. For his contributions to aeronautical research in Canada, his teaching, and his work on flapping wing and lighter-than-air aircraft, Professor James DeLaurier was inducted into Canada's Aviation Hall of Fame at ceremonies held in 2022.